So welcome back to another video. Today we are back in the VTube studio. It's been quite a while since I made a video last, and yeah, it's been like over 100 days. It's been half a blooming year at this point since I made a proper video, and yeah, it's about time. A few explanations, and I really want to get back to full time doing things the way that I used to. It's been quite a year and a half, really. It's I don't mean that in terms of time. It's been a bit of a event-filled year for me in life. I've had a number of things being going on, and yeah, I even had a bit of a move in place, in location. So I've got a lot more setup now. I've got a lot more efficiency going on in the way that I do work, in the way that I handle everything. This is now a better setup here that I have in my actual real world room. Much more space and much more area for putting things that will stay static. That means setting up VR is going to be a lot easier here. Because a lot of extra things that I want to do won't need any extra setup every time I use them, right? On a daily basis, this makes everything super efficient in comparison to how it used to be. Now, last week I uploaded a video, which in fact was an actual re-upload from the channel, from the YouTube channel of the person that I was speaking with. And that's a bit of an interview with a guy called Mr. VR Voice. There's a bit of a voice of reason amidst the world of social media that we have, and he has a tendency to be willing to be critical about things that we're passionate about. So that meant it was a worthy conversation. The video itself is 3 hours long. If you do want to listen to it, you don't need to actually see the visual content. There's nothing there except for me talking like this in the VTube studio. So you can just listen to the whole thing just running in the background if you're working or something like that. You'll notice that my mouth is not working properly today in today's video. Wow, I really need to fix a lot of things going on with my VTube studio as well. It's not working brilliantly, but there we go. Yeah, so there's a bunch of things going on, and I had a discussion with him last week, which I uploaded last week, sorry. And yeah, it's something worth listening to, because there's a number of things that we talked about, and of course he's also willing to be critical when asking me questions, right? So you can listen to things about why has it taken me so long to do things, and what's the learning process over the past few years that I've gone through, that discusses a number of issues as well, right? But a few things that we touched upon in that video, in that discussion, were about the kind of state of the VR industry alongside my own work, and a number of things, including things like social media and a little bit of like the disingenuousness that we're seeing in the industry, in social media, in the way marketing happens across the gaming industry, along with things like politics and things like that, how they're interfering with product quality. But one of the things that I didn't really talk about there, which it's a known subject, is something that has actually impacted me in this project. This project being 360 Chicken. So you know of this project if you've seen this plenty of times on my channel. And a while ago I mentioned that it was going to be... Oh, wrong camera. Let's switch to the green screen. There we go, we've got 360 Chicken. Now, you've seen everything that you're looking at here before, with the exception of this thing here, which is the Velocitractor, which is a great name. But yeah, Velocity Applier, it's like a boost there. So a few new things, and including the sort of checkpoint thing in the background there. But beyond that, there's a bunch more going on in this game than I've shown before. And it's just, in the last video I mentioned how, I'm going to try and get this game to early access so that I can actually get a proper game out. And it's actually in a state where I could literally, put it out as a game. But unfortunately, what happened with this is that I completely lost my way. And you'll notice this immediately. In fact, you might have already seen it when I tilt my camera up, right? And what's going on in the background there is that I went and changed the scope of the project. Now, it was supposed to be something quite simple. You go from A to B, your character can get blown to pieces, and you're supposed to survive and get to the end and probably get there in an appropriate amount of time, right? So you start the level, you try and go as a chicken, you go through a bunch of stunts and weird things going on. You catch a checkpoint like this here. Whoop, let's get down here. You catch the checkpoints, go through each of the checkpoints, get to the end, and boink, you get a medal based on the time, right? Very, very simple. But I lost my way, right? And what happened was the game got a little bit over-scoped. Instead of having these neat little worlds that you build, I ended up building a consistent world. Now, this is a bit of a good idea. It's just that I didn't really have that kind of time, and I went and used it anyway. And what you can see here is that there's sort of a massive map in the background, and you're supposed to build your stunt tracks around the map, right? Surrounding the map. So for example, here we go. We've got a loading system here. All works fine. And if you look at this here, I've got actual levels that I've built here. Woo! And just great for testing, right? So we've got here level 1, which is an actual level. Here we go. We've got all the little text as well that you can plant in your levels. Ooh, there we go. And I've got an actual functioning level system with actual maps that have been built. Ooh. Right? So there we go. And all of these things can be built in the stunt track editor, right? All of these little map pieces and all of that. Wow, I keep overshooting that. It can all be built in the stunt track creator. All of this is completely available. You can make this stuff. Here we go, wall ride on this thing, on the gloopy gloop, flip over, cones. Every object has its own theme and color scheme, and you can select colors for the land blocks. All of this is available, but again, the scope went over the top. So what happened is, instead of just making a game where you can build all of these stunt tracks and play through them, and your aim is to get there as fast as possible, right? Which is perfect. It works fine. Look at all this, right? This is all available in the stunt track creator. But the idea was that you would do this on an existing map, and you can use the existing map as well, right? So for example, here you've got a volcano jump, which is just a quick test of being on top of this volcano. You start on top of this volcano, right, which looks kind of terrible right now, and then you just shoot off of it and see how far you can go. Right? So, there's a few good ideas, but the scope was the problem, right? There was absolutely no need for this game to have so much scope that, wow, I overshot it. That, woo! Look at where I landed. Whee! Shut off the volcano there. There was absolutely no need for this game to have this level of scope, and I did it anyway. So effectively, this game just lost its way. I lost my way. If I had not tried to build all of this clearly unfinished map, right, I would have been able to get this game to early access already. Which it's really sad, isn't it? This is just it's quite sad that I just lost my way. And yeah, there's no way I'm gonna do that. It's really annoying to me that I went and did that. But yeah, so this is one of those things. This is one of those games where I would be able to do something better if I just if I just didn't lose scope with this. So I am going to remove all of this map. It'll probably just be saved as a prefab somewhere, and it's something we can look at again later down the line. But yeah, for now, this project will go back to basics. I'll remove everything like that, and we'll go back to only having blocks. This game should play a little bit more like Trackmania than anything that it was going to become. It's just so overscoped. It was originally planned as a little project that I can put updates out, literally like playable updates out constantly while I work on everything else. And it was really fun to build all of this stuff, right? It's a great test bed for physics mechanics that I build into the world. But like I said, it lost its way. It's overscoped, and it became unplayable for people because I couldn't put this out until these big things were finished. It's just completely silly. It was supposed to be small pieces put together and constantly updated, and that's what happened for a while. I've got so many build versions of this that were released and updated on itch.io. But yeah, it's really quite sad what I end up doing to myself, honestly, sometimes. But there we go. Yeah, so that's that. There are more things I can do with that game, and I really want to just get it to the point where it can actually be released. People can play it and build their own tracks, share them, and then, you know, on Steam you just download someone else's track and play it, right? And your aim is to be the highest scorer, the fastest run on that track, whatever, right? It's a very simple game. It doesn't have to have extreme competitiveness. It doesn't have to go beyond that. It's just a small game that is really fun to play, and you can just pick it up, play it. And I've got some skin peeling, and I just did that and it hurt. Wow, that's unnecessary. I think I just opened. Yep, I'm bleeding. Right, brilliant. Bloody heck. Right, okay. Yeah. Next video will be more focused. We're gonna go back to focus, for goodness sake. Stop losing track. But yeah, please do listen to what I mentioned in the last discussion. It's absolutely worth it, because it really talks about how I in the past I just did not know what I know now. I just kept losing my track with things like this, and why over the past 2 years, despite not making many videos, I really kind of learned quite a lot, and I've realized quite a bit and a better way to actually work on this stuff. So thanks very much for watching. I will see you in the next video, which should be next week. I'm gonna try and get weekly videos out once again, you know, actually do crazy amounts of work. Obviously I have a full-time job where I work with SideQuest right now, so I'm always in VR. I'm always working on VR. I'm always working VR gaming. I'm always working on gaming in general. So yeah, I'm a non-stop guy now when it comes to VR and gaming. But that doesn't stop me at all. Project TX is the next video, and I need to get it to a stage. Oh, okay, speaking of that, there are so many things nowadays trying to say, look at this next gen thing, look at this new game, and everything seems to be very samey. I'm just gonna say it. There are one thing that was mentioned by Mr. VR Voice in that interview, and one of the reasons that I wanted to talk to him on that video was he's touched upon one of the most important things that seems to have completely lost its way when it comes to VR, which is NPC quality. The world does not feel alive when every character effectively acts as a zombie, even when they're not supposed to be zombies. And that's a complete lack of AI or understanding of how an entity should interact or react with the world and with the player. And that's what I really want to change. So when it comes to it, I'm trying to make a video on NPCs, and I really want to show you what I've got coming up. I'm hoping that is going to really show you a possible future where NPCs move and interact in a different way. And these are full physics, they're full ragdoll, but they act a lot more actively. they work better, and yeah, I'm pumped to get this out. But I hope you're waiting anxiously about it. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.